Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is your host with the most, Paul, playing 2 live in my backyard, and it is springtime once again. It smells good outside, it feels great outside, so it is time to throw in some plants in my backyard, heavily shaded environment out here in Houston, Texas, Zone 9. And before we get into this extravagant native plant tropical vibe looking gardening extravaganza, always remember that Earth is my planet.
Earth is my planet.
Okay guys, so like I said, man, my whole mission in this backyard is to have it look tropical, and I want to do so with as many native plants as I can find. So over the past year, there were a ton of sales during winter, during the late fall, and I picked up some nice tropical looking plants that aren't necessarily from the tropics, so they will survive the cold random snaps that we get in Houston. And a lot of these plants can grow in other zones as well. So if you guys want a tropical looking environment that is hardy, some of these plants may be the right ones for you. But without further ado, let's get to throwing them in the ground. All right guys, so the first plant we're throwing in is this Yucca recurviflora. Now this is a nice yucca plant, and they do typically grow in a desert-like environment, but the foliage is nice and pointy. It has a cool growth habit that also can simultaneously look tropical and add a little bit of variety to the typical shape of leaves that can grow in these more temperate climates as we have here in the United States. Now again, I live in the southeast, so I can get away with a little bit more tropical-esque subtropical plants, but still, this is a native to the US, and these guys do survive extremely low temperatures. I've seen these all in the area, and I actually have another one in the backyard that is in a more shady environment, despite the fact that these need full sun, and it does well. Hence why I'm filling in this blank gap with this plant. So get in where you fit in. Hey, so please excuse my dogs, but just for all you guys who want to grow one of these yuccas, they grow in zone 7 all the way to zone 11. So that's why they can survive the freezes here that have knocked out a lot of my other cool looking yucca plants. These guys can thrive in full sun to part sun, and they like poor, well-drained soils. I mean, no plant really likes poor soils, but these guys will thrive in less than high quality soil. They also do pop up with big white flowers that attract night pollinators such as moths. And overall, this guy looks super cool, and I think this blue-green hue definitely lends to a variety in a tropical-like landscape, while at the same time providing that hardiness that we all love and seek out. All right, we have the Yucca recurviflora in the ground, and the next plant we're throwing in is hands down one of my favorites for getting that native tropical look, at least in the southeast, and that is the Sable minor Palmetto. Now all throughout Houston, if you go to any lowland or forested area, you will see these guys just popping up and adding a nice bit of tropical flair. They don't get too large, they produce a ton of seeds that birds love to nibble on. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this guy in as a plant that can fill in the backdrop of where I put this fallen log that I did find. So yeah, I think that'll look really cool. They grow in full sun or full shade, so either way it works. And especially with the way the sun travels in this backyard, where it is kind of like a pot sun environment, this will be perfect. All right guys, so this is another one that grows in zone 7 all the way to 10, so a freeze ain't gonna do nothing to it, and it can survive in full sun to full shade with no problem, and it can like wet feet to a somewhat drier environment. But this guy had been in this pot forever. I mean, just look how root bound it was. Now with palms, you don't want to destroy the roots, so if you find one of these that's root bound, exercise caution. Hold on. I gotta pause this to say, look how good this leaf looks popping up in the sun behind the log. Look how good this dog looks on me behind the plant, behind the log. Foxy, get off. So I had to do a little bit of minor work on the Sable minor, trimming up some of the leaves just to make it look really clean and pristine. This guy can get about 5 to 8 feet tall and wide, and it definitely does make that tropical statement is native, so we'll provide all of the benefits to the wildlife, the birds and mammals. But by golly gee whiz, the architectural aspect of this plant is absolutely abundantly clear. This is a glorious native for any hardy tropical shade garden. All right guys, so we have the Weeping Yucca in the ground. We have a mini palm tree in the ground. And now we are throwing in a red yucca. Again, another one of these desert dwelling plants that has a really cool kind of light bluish to gray hue to the leaves. And they are a little bit thinner. They are spiky. And now it's time to figure out the perfect place to put this dude in the garden. Again, when mixing with the broad leaves, these little spiky dudes really make the garden look tropical and likewise unstoppable.
So Hasperella parviflora, or this red yucca, is amazing, man. It is native to Texas and regions of Mexico, and this guy can grow 3 feet by 3 feet from zone 6 all the way to 13. It likes dry soil. It prefers full sun, but I've had this guy sitting in a pot. I have not watered it a single drop in the shade, and it already is shooting out a flower spike. So they have coral flowers which look really amazing, and these guys are used all throughout tons of landscaping jobs, and I really like the way they look, hence why I had to include one, because it does add a more thin, spiky, textural variety to my tropical garden. So it's perfect.
No lie, now that these yuccas are in the ground, this area is looking, chef's kiss, so much better. I'm extremely happy with it. It really is filled out. I mean, you guys probably can't tell from this area, but man, it looked horrible, honestly, at the beginning, and now it looks extravagant. But anyways, man, the next plants we're gonna throw in are actually gonna be some trees, one of which I did grow from seed. All right, it feels like a gross exaggeration to say I grew this from seed. It was more like a squirrel, but we have a southern magnolia that was underneath one of my pine trees. It was about this tall, and I transplanted it into this container, and it's been about 2 years of growth, and this dude is looking significant in size. So I'm gonna put this guy in the ground behind me, because along my fence line, nothing really grows. Now there is sun there, and this is an evergreen, and I have a ton of deciduous kind of shade-loving understory shrubs, but in the wintertime they lose their leaves, and this area looks so desolate. So I'm very excited to get a southern magnolia in the back area.
And I personally feel like these trees are some of the most gorgeous native trees we have in North America. The flowers are huge, white, glorious. The glossy, shiny leaves look amazing. They can get 100 feet tall. They grow in dry soils, part shade, zone 6 all the way to 10. I am saying this is such a versatile tree, and I feel like intermingled with the oak tree roots where the soil is dry back here, this guy will thrive, survive, and look great, and simultaneously will screen off my neighbor's ugly pool covering / net thing. So yeah, this dude definitely is going to serve an amazing purpose.
So the southern magnolia is in the ground, and next up we are behind my pond right now. And I did plant a guava tree which had guavas on it, and unfortunately during the freeze that tree died, but I'm not even mad because the fruit smelled horrible and it did not taste much better either. And then like possums and squirrels would come and take bites out of the fruit. It was just a nuisance. So I'm gonna get the guava out, and instead I'm gonna plant a Texas Mountain Laurel tree. Now these trees have amazing purple flowers, and I've seen them in Central Texas growing underneath oak tree canopies, and so that is the exact environment this dude's gonna be in, and I can baby it by just refilling the pond and then watering it simultaneously. So I think it'll be really perfect right over here.
Now the Texas Mountain Laurel is an evergreen tree, hence why I'm putting it next to my standout feature in my yard, the pond, so it'll look good during each and every single season. It likes full sun to part sun and likes dry soil, so on this nice little berm it won't get too inundated with water. And furthermore, this guy grows in zone 6 all the way through 10, and Native Americans use the seed powder. They would like smash up the seeds as a hallucinogenic drug. So if I ever get desperate and just want to trip balls one day, the Texas Mountain Laurel might provide. But yeah, just look how majestic it is, just bordering my pond. Eventually, as it gets bigger, I can imagine birds will land on the branches and just check out the water.
Okay guys, so we have the Mountain Laurel tucked away by the pond, and the next plant I want to throw in kind of as a backdrop behind the Mountain Laurel, because it is a bit more slow growing, is this Mexican fan palm. Now I think I got this dude for, hold on man, for 15 bucks. Bro, at garden centers, they would not have prices like that, but I got this at a small nursery called Jimbo's out in the country. So yeah, I'm gonna put this dude kind of behind the pond and actually have a Mexican fan palm in the yard that is in pretty much full shade, and it is doing great. So I think this guy likewise will do well, especially by the pond where it will get plenty of water as I refill the pond and clear out some of that fish waste and really nutritious water for the plants. So let's see if I can dig a hole big enough for this guy, but if not, it'll be slightly elevated right here on the backside of the pond area. I think this dude will really add that tropical look I'm going for.
Now, this is my only non-native plant addition in this entire video. The Mexican fan palm, hence the name, is native to northern Mexico, and this guy is the only sketchy plant selection I'm throwing in the ground because it is hardy to about 20 degrees Fahrenheit. That's when the leaves will fall off. At 10 to 15 degrees, the whole tree can die, and with our unprecedented sketchy cold weather in Houston, Texas, this is a risk, but it was only $15, so I definitely felt justified in rolling the dice on this bad boy. It looks so cool. It's a fast growing palm, so I think it'll really fill out, add to that tropical look, and I can baby it being right next to this water feature in the yard.
Now underneath this palm, I'm gonna put a couple of inland sea oats, which are a shade loving ground cover. And I really want these guys to spread in the garden, and I want this area to really fill out and look wonderful. So that's why I'm putting a couple of these guys in right underneath the palm tree.
Now, these inland sea oats are literally the only shade tolerant grass I know of that are native, and these guys will thrive in the shade, forming a clump like structure. They grow in zones 5 all the way to 9, so very versatile, and I already have a big one that looks super clean, so I know this is a guaranteed success. So here's a final look at the Mexican fan palm. Again, architectural, beautiful, and tropical. And here is a glance at the inland sea oats. Once these grow up, they really are gonna fill out splendidly.
So we are done with the last plant, and that is a wrap on upgrading my backyard garden area. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Once again, please smash that like button. It is free to do. It is the best way to help me out. And always remember, Earth is my planet.
Earth is my planet.
But thank you guys again for watching. If you guys have any advice, plant suggestions, anything that is relevant, or just a cool story you want to share about plant successes you've had, please leave that in the comment section down below. I always am reading, am listening, and am trying to glean any information and knowledge that I can from you guys, because some of y'all are a hell of a lot smarter than me. I'm just putting plants in the ground, trying to figure it out and learning as I go, which sometimes is the best way to grow. You dig? But anyways, until next time, man, I will see y'all very soon. Peace and love. And yeah, I'm out.
Killing these songs, leaving a bloody life I roost through. And I'm in it to win it, so I'm somebody that you should get used to.